It's been 7 months since Ethiopia's Prime Minister, a Nobel Peace Prize winner, by the way, sent his military to crush rebels from a political party that once dominated the government. Abiy Ahmed promised the operation in Tigray would be over soon, but it wasn't. Eritrean troops joined the fight even though the Ethiopian government denied that they were taking part. And CNN actually documented numerous atrocities committed against civilians. And by the way, we're not just talking about people being caught in the crossfire, but civilians actually being targeted in massacres and mass rapes. Ethiopia has promised unfettered humanitarian access to allow in desperately needed aid, but large parts of the region are still out of reach. And while the world waits, the suffering deepens in Tigray with every single passing day. It is so hard to overstate the catastrophic human toll of this war. Thousands have been killed and many more displaced, while those left behind could actually face starvation. The UN estimates that more than 90% of the people in Tigray are in desperate need of emergency food aid. Yet Ethiopia, meantime, is actually defending its actions in Tigray, and it's turning the tables on critics, accusing them of disinformation and orchestrating their outrage. Before the show, I spoke to Ethiopia's ambassador to the United States, and I began by asking how on earth, given everything that's happening in Ethiopia, how on earth his government can justify the war in Tigray. I want you to listen to what he said.
First of all, we have to clearly see how the unbalanced reporting, the disinformation and misinformation going on. The Attorney General has been investigating sexual assault or a means of war and all other allegations. So it's not true. And everything happened because of TPLF's unprovoked attack and killing thousands of soldiers and massacring civilians.
So, Mr. Ambassador, I just want to stop you there on the first point you mentioned, that you're not entirely sure whether what we're saying is true. We have one of our own reporters, Nemrel Bagir, who traveled to Axum to see for herself. She spoke to families who had lost 7 people. She spoke to young girls who were in hospital who had been raped. She spoke to young women who had bullet wounds because they had been shot at indiscriminately. So CNN has actually seen with our own eyes some of these atrocities. So what will it take for Abiy Ahmed to stop?
I followed the reports by CNN, and I beg to differ with the reporting, the way it was conducted, and also we have seen no evidence, and there are also
there were people in that report who showed our reporter areas on the ground where their loved ones had been buried, where you could actually still see the blood. What don't you believe?
Again, that report was checked by other independent investigators and has not been confirmed. So it's up to CNN to confirm. By the way, I'm not saying there are not casualties, there are not atrocities that happened. This is, a law enforcement operation trying to stop terrorists from advancing, and now turn it into insurgents. So I'm not saying there are not killings of civilians, there are not victims, but the way CNN reported was to blame the government, to take the blame towards the government instead of allowing professional investigators to conduct such allegations.
So if you are aware of the fact that there are civilians being caught in the crossfires, what is the government in Ethiopia going to do about that to protect civilians?
The Ethiopian Attorney General Office, and also through the military justice system, people who committed crime have been investigated and brought to justice. I can count on dozens of who are apprehended already, and there are details coming out. As I'm coming to you, the Attorney General was providing interview live on TV from Ethiopia. So what is sad is that we hear very little from the media about the crimes that the TPLF terrorists are, committing, and very few, except some senator from the U.S., are calling them terrorists even for that matter. So we see one-sided reporting, and we are really sad for that. And would like the world to understand what's going on in Ethiopia.
A lot of people are aware of the fact that the Ethiopian government has some gripe, if you will, with the TPLF, and the fact that a lot of people believe that the TPLF was part of a once very repressive regime. I think what concerns the international community, though, is the fact that there are so many civilians that are caught in the middle and innocent people being murdered. In terms of Eritrean forces being forced out of Ethiopia, being forced to withdraw from your country, where do we stand on that?
To begin with, Eritrean forces crossed the border because they had threats for the security. They were provoked by the TPLF launching missiles to different cities, in Asmara, in the Eritrea. So they had no option when they were not guaranteed protection from the Ethiopian government, but just to protect themselves. Now we have agreed, already letters have been exchanged, and some technical military arrangements have been going on. So very soon we see Eritrean troops leaving the country.
Okay, so very soon. So what does that mean? When? When by?
So I cannot explain the details, but already there are some, these are information that are very important to the security. So as I speak now, there are preparations for part of the Eritrean troops to withdraw from Ethiopian territories.
In terms of the U.S., though, this war started in November, and I think a lot of people will agree that the U.S. has been very patient with Ethiopia up until this point in time. They tried sending Senator Chris Coons to talk to Abiy Ahmed himself. That didn't really work. They tried sending Jeffrey Feltman, the special envoy, to the Horn of Africa. That hasn't seemed to work so far. Now they've started imposing sanctions in terms of visa restrictions. Are you prepared for the fact that if Eritrea does not withdraw from Ethiopia, that there will be more sanctions coming down the pipeline? Are you prepared for that?
So the matter is that the TPLF terrorists have attacked our soldiers at night, massacred them while defending the nation, the country, looted artilleries, and they wanted to advance to the capital. And this is a heinous crime, a treason, and we hear very little calling these groups terrorists. These are, we cannot find any unbalanced reporting like this. When it comes to Africa, is it because we are poor? Is it because we are black? I don't know. But this is a biased reporting against what's exactly happening. On the regards of the CNN reporting, I say it's biased. This is a professional job that should be left to prosecutors to investigate it in a proper manner.
My interview there with the Ethiopian ambassador to the United States.